Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, today I'll be starting with the chapter of the table from the E.H. Palmer translation. In the name of the merciful and compassionate Allah, O ye who believe, fulfill your compacts lawful for you, our brute beast, save what is here recited to you, not allowing you the chase while you are on pilgrimage. Verily Allah ordaineth what He will. O ye who believe, do not deem the monuments of Allah to be lawful, nor the sacred month, nor the offering, nor its neck garlands, nor those who sojourn at the sacred house, craving grace from thy Lord and from His pleasure. So, obviously, some explaining may need to be done to to let you know what the haram is. It's an area of further restriction, so it's not a regular place in certain respects. But when ye are in the lawful state again, then chase, and let not ill will against the people who turned you from the sacred mosque make you transgress, but help one another in righteousness and piety, and do not help one another to sin and enmity, but fear Allah, and verily Allah is keen to punish. Forbidden to you is that which dies of itself, and blood, and the flesh of swine, and that which is devoted to other than Allah, and the strangled, and the knocked down, and that which falls down, and the gored, and what wild beast have eaten, except what ye slaughter in time, and what is sacrificed to idols, and dividing carcasses by arrows. Today shall those who disbelieve in your religion despair. Do ye not then fear them? But fear me. Today is perfected for you your religion, and fulfilled upon you is my favor, and I am pleased for you to have Islam as a religion. But he who is forced by hunger, not inclined willfully to sin, verily Allah is forgiving, compassionate. So, Suwrah 5, some think is the last of the Suwrah that were revealed, but, the system of judgment having all its rights, and being restored away from the wrongs that had been slipped into what people thought of religion. That was what had happened in Deen. It's not just religion, it's system of judgment, which should be religion. Who forced by hunger and inclined willfully to sin, verily Allah is forgiving, compassionate. So, you do what you need to do to survive, if you're only doing it to survive. They will ask thee what is lawful for them. Say, lawful for you are the good things, and what you have taught beasts of prey to catch, training them like dogs. Ye teach them as Allah taught you, so eat of what they catch for you, and mention the name of Allah over it, and fear Allah, for verily Allah is swift in reckoning up. So the falcons, train falcons and stuff too. But not wild dogs, not wild birds. What they capture, unless you give it the death blow, is not lawful for you today are good things, and the food of those to whom the book has been given is lawful for you, and your food is lawful for them, and chaste women of those who believe, and chaste women of those to whom the book has been given before you, when you have been given them their hire, living chastely, and not fornicating, and not taking paramours. But whoso disbelieves in the faith of a truth, his work is vain, and he shall be in the next life of those who lose. And obviously, the clarity there, it's like, well, the Jews and the Christians, they have it. Well, it's like, it has to meet the same conditions. You wouldn't accept it from a believer if they were sinning in what they were offering you. Whoso disbelieves in the faith of truth his work is vain, and he shall be in the next life of those who lose. Oh, you who believe, when you rise up to prayer, wash your faces and your hands as far as the elbows, and wipe your heads and your feet down to the ankles. And if ye are polluted, then purify yourselves. But if ye are sick, or on a journey, or if one of you comes from the privy, or if ye have touched women and cannot find water, then take fine surface sand and wipe your faces and your hands therewith. Allah does not wish to make any hindrance for you, but he wishes to purify you and fulfill his favor upon you. Happily ye may give thanks. Remember the favor of Allah to you, and his covenant which he covenanted with you, when ye said, We hear and obey, and fear Allah. Verily Allah knows the nature of men's breasts. O ye who believe, stand steadfast to Allah as witnesses with justice, and let not ill will towards people make you sin by not acting with equity. Act with equity, that is nearer to piety, and fear Allah, and Allah is aware of what ye do. Allah has promised to those who believe and work righteousness that for them is pardon and a mighty hire. But those who disbelieve and call our signs lies, these are the fellows of hell. O ye who believe, remember Allah's favor towards you, when a people intended to stretch their hands against you, but he withheld their hands from you, and upon Allah let the believers rely. And believer is not just an internal thing, it's an acted out thing. But this chapter can be thought of as the covenant chapter. Allah did, based on verse 13, Allah did take a compact from the children of Israel, and raised up of them 12 wardens. And Allah said, Verily I am with you, if ye be steadfast in prayer, and give alms, and believe in my apostles, and assist them, and lend to Allah goodly loan. Then I will cover your offenses, and make you enter gardens beneath which rivers flow. And whoso disbelieves after that, he hath erred from the level way, and for that they broke their compact, we cursed them, and placed in their hearts hardness, so that they perverted the words from their places, and forgot a portion of what they were reminded of. But thou wilt not cease to light upon treachery amongst them, save a few of them, but pardon them and shun them. Verily Allah loves the kind. And of those who say, Verily we are Christians, Nasar is a broader term than just the Christians. We have taken a compact, but they have forgotten a portion of what they were reminded of. Wherefore have we excited amongst them enmity and hatred till the resurrection day, but Allah will tell them of what they have done. O ye people of the book, our apostle has come to you to explain to you much of what he hath hidden of the book, and to pardon much of what ye had hidden of the book, and to pardon much. There has come to you from Allah a light and a perspicuous book. Allah guides thereby those who follow his pleasure to the way of peace, and brings them into a right way. They misbelieve who say, Verily Allah is the Messiah, the Son of Mary. Say, who has any hold on Allah, if he wish to destroy the Messiah, the Son of Mary, and his mother, and those who are on earth altogether? Allah's is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and what is between the two. He createth what he will, for Allah is mighty over all. But the Jews and the Christians say, We are the sons of Allah and his beloved. Say, why then does he punish you for his sins? Nay, ye are mortals. Of those whom he has created, he pardons whom he pleases, and punishes whom he pleases. For Allah's is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and what is between the two, and unto him the journey is. O people of the book, our apostle has come to you, explaining to you the interval of apostles, lest ye say, there came not to us a herald of glad tidings nor a warner, but there has come to you now a herald of glad tidings and a warner, and Allah is mighty over all. When Moses said to his people, O my people, remember the favor of Allah towards you, when he made amongst you prophets and made for you kings and brought you what never was brought to anybody in the worlds. O my people, enter the holy land which Allah has prescribed for you, and be not thrust back upon your hinder parts, and retreat losers. They said, O Moses, verily therein is a people, giants, and we will surely not enter therein until they go out from thence. But if they go out, then we will enter in. Then said two men of those who fear Allah, as had been gracious to them both, enter ye upon them by the door, and when ye have entered it, verily ye shall be victorious, and upon Allah do ye rely if ye be believers. And they said, O Moses, we shall never enter it so long as they are therein. So go thou and thy Lord, and fight ye twain. Verily we will sit down here, said he. My Lord, verily I can control only myself and my brother. Therefore pardon us from these sinful people. He said, then verily it is forbidden them. For 40 years shall they wander about in the earth. So vex not thyself for the sinful people. Recite to them the story of the two sons of Adam. Truly, when they offered an offering, and it was accepted from one of them, and was not accepted from the other, the one said, I will surely kill thee. He said, Allah only accepts from those who fear. If thou dost stretch forth to me thine hand to kill me, I will not stretch forth my hand to kill thee. Verily I fear Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Verily I wish that thou mightest draw upon thee my sin and thy sin, and be the fellows of the fire, for that is the reward of the unjust. But his soul allowed him to slay his brother, and he slew him, and in the morning he was of those who lose. And Allah sent a crow to scratch in the earth, and show him how he might hide his brother's shame. He said, alas for me, am I too helpless to become like this crow and hide my brother's shame? In the morning he was of those who did repent. Now, shame that's a wrong translation. I'm going to point that out right here, that it's body. Even if the body was naked, there's nothing to be ashamed of a body unless you're just going around flaunting your nudeness. And that would put forth another question that this guy has in his head. For some reason he thinks, why would the one brother have got the other brother naked? I don't know what's going on in his... anyways. But this shows the seriousness of killing. That even a reluctance to kill in self-defense, because, am I really killing him in self-defense? Is it necessary? Is, that sort of level of fear of God that you'd rather die. But it also points out that, because some people would say this was the second prophet in that respect, Adam, and then, his son, Abel, Habil, that typically when you're dealing with somebody who's not an idolater or something like that, the person would generally have all their sins forgiven if they were murdered. For this cause have we prescribed to the children of Israel that whoso kills a soul, unless it be for another soul, or for violence in the land, it is as though he had killed men altogether, but whoso saves one, it is as though he saved men altogether. Now, in the worldly sense, we don't see how serious crimes are. That there's the legacy of the sin, that, hey, you're doing something that you're just taking part in this whole long line of this particular type of sin. Our apostles came to them with manifest signs, and verily many of them did after that commit excesses in the earth. The reward of those who make war against the law and his apostle and strive after violence in the earth, it is only that they should be slaughtered or crucified, or their hands cut off and their feet on alternate sides, or that they shall be banished from the land. And that is a disgrace for them in this world, and for them in the next is mighty woe, save for those who repent before ye have given them in your power. For know ye that Allah is forgiving, merciful. And the only people, not apostates or anything like this, yes, these two people were apostates, but they were serial killing, robbing from the state apostates. That is completely different when you string up somebody like that as an example. It's not what you hear about on the news. These people aren't even, somebody was crucified, so I gotta figure a way to crucify somebody. That's absolutely not what was going on there. O ye who believe, fear Allah, and crave the means to approach him, and be strenuous in his way, haply ye will prosper then. Verily those who disbelieve, even though they had what is in the earth, all of it and the like thereof with it, to offer as a ransom from the punishment of the resurrection day, it would not be accepted from them, but for them is grievous woe. And they may wish to go forth from the fire, but they shall not go forth therefrom, for them is lasting woe. The man thief and the woman thief, cut off the hands of both as a punishment, for that they have erred, and an example from Allah, for he is mighty wise. And then again you see in Surah 12 the same the same language being used for the people who cut their hands. Woman calls over the most attractive guy in the land and surprises the other women, but first she hands them a knife and she cuts herself, and they all cut themselves. They didn't cut off their hand. But then again, there's details to this cutting of the thief, that they're not stealing for their needs, it's not for small things. It's not for stealing sinful things. It's not for stealing things that are a waste, that are, sort of neutral, that sort of thing. That's, it's a serious offense. You're stealing a lot of stuff for that sort of punishment. But and you're not taking part in any sort of atonement that, I'm not willing to, just cut me instead. Because there's the thing of multiplying the amount that is stolen and having the thief repay it back. That usually comes first. But whoso turns again after his injustice and acts aright, verily Allah will turn to him, for verily Allah is forgiving, merciful. Do ye not know that Allah, his is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth? He punishes whom he pleases, and forgives whom he pleases, for Allah is mighty over all. O thou apostle, let not those grieve thee who vie in misbelief, or those who say with their mouths, we believe, but their hearts do not believe, are of those who are Jews, listeners to a lie, listeners to other people, but who come not to thee. They pervert the words from their places, and say, if this is what ye are given, take it. But if ye are not given it, then beware. But he whom Allah wishes to mislead, thou canst do nothing with the law for him. These are those whose hearts Allah wishes not to purify. For them in this world is a disgrace, and for them in the next is a mighty woe. Listeners to a lie, eaters of unlawful things. Now, it sounds strange like that in English, because you're thinking God's not letting people be guided. Well, it's out there. They have the desire, they're starting to be guided, and they put their hand forth, God, let's pull some, like an arm's length and that sort of thing. But if they come to thee, then judge between them, or turn aside from them, and if thou turnest aside from them, they shall not harm thee at all. But if thou judgest, then judge between them with justice. Verily Allah loves the just. But how should they make thee their judge, when they have the law wherein is Allah's judgment, and yet they turn back after that, for they do not believe. Verily we have revealed the law, in which is guidance and light. The prophets who were resigned did judge thereby those who were the Jews, as did the masters and the doctors, by what they remembered of the book of the law, of the book of Allah. Suwrah Al, it's what's being implied by Aleister Crowley's book, but that's not what's being talked about. That, the actual book of Moses, the actual books through the prophet to the people, to the children of Israel. And yes, Jesus was one of the prophets to the children of Israel. And by the book of the law, and by that which they are witness of, fear not men, but fear me, and sell not my signs for a little price. But whoso will not judge by what Allah has revealed, these be the misbelievers. We have prescribed for thee therein a life for a life, and an eye for an eye, and a nose for a nose, and an ear for an ear, and a tooth for a tooth, and for wounds retaliation. But whoso remits it, it is an expiation for him. But whoso will not judge by what Allah has revealed, these be the unjust. And of course, it's not somebody wrongs your family member, you get to wrong their family member. That's not what's being talked about. Nor is there some things, it's like you can't, well, this person's a rapist, so they have to be raped. That's not justice. That's actually perpetuating something. And you think the official, anyways, yeah. And we followed up the footsteps of these with Jesus, the Son of Mary, confirming that which was before him, and the law, and we brought him the gospel, wherein is guidance and light, verifying what was before it of the law, and a guidance and an admonition unto those who fear. Then let the people of the gospel judge by that which is revealed therein. For whoso will not judge by what Allah has revealed, these be the evildoers. We have revealed to thee the book in truth, verifying what was before it, and preserving it. Judge then between them by what Allah has revealed, and follow not their lust, turning away from what is given to thee of the truth. For each one of you have we made a law and a pathway, and had Allah pleased, he would have made you one nation, but he will surely try you by concerning that which he has brought you. He will try you concerning that which he has brought you. Be ye therefore emulous in good deeds. To Allah is your return altogether, and he will let you know concerning that wherein ye do dispute. Wherefore judge thou between them by what Allah has revealed, and follow not their lust, but beware lest they mislead thee from part of what Allah has revealed to thee. Yet if they turn back, then know that Allah wishes to fall on them for some of their sins of theirs. Verily many men are evildoers. And it's important there to remember that most of the references in some of the earlier English translations of Al Qoor'aan fear, yes, you fear God because God's in charge of the consequences in this world and the next ultimately, but it's more of a regard, although there is that reference to the fear, but it's not quite as much. is the judgment of the ignorance they crave, but who is better than Allah to judge for people who are sure? O ye who believe, take not the Jews and the Christians for your patrons, they are patrons of each other, but whoso amongst you takes them for patrons, verily he is of them, and verily Allah guides not an unjust people. Patrons, as in... you see this online, per se, is that people sell out and let the other people be in charge of, I'm going to do this content, I'm going to do this, I'm going to not do this. Thou wilt not see those in whose hearts is a sickness vying with them. They say, we fear lest it befall us a reverse. It may be Allah will give the victory or an order from himself, and they may awake repenting of what they thought in secret to themselves. Those who believe say, are these they who swore by Allah with their most strenuous oath that they were surely with you? Their works are in vain, and they shall wake the losers. O ye who believe, whoso is turned away from his religion, Allah will bring a people whom he loves and who love him, lowly to believers, lofty to unbelievers, strenuous in the way of Allah, fearing not the blame of him who blames. And that is Allah's grace, he gives it unto whom he pleases, for Allah both comprehends and knows. Jihad fi sabilillah, striving in God's way, because you're doing the right thing even when it's difficult. But again, this issue of apostasy, hey, people who are going to have the faith inside, they're going to be replaced. If you give up believing and doing the right things, you think God's not going to replace you? So, you don't worry about those people, in other words. Allah only is your patron and his apostle, and those who believe, who are steadfast in prayer and give alms, bowing down. Whoso taketh as patrons Allah and his apostles, and those who believe, verily Allah's crew, they are victorious. O ye who believe, take not for your patrons those who take your religion as a jest or sport from amongst those who have been given the book before, and the misbelievers, but fear Allah if ye be believers, nor those who, when ye call to prayer, take it for a jest and a sport, and that is because they are a people who do not understand. Say, O people of the book, do ye disavow us for aught but that we believe in Allah and what was revealed to us before, and for that most of you are evildoers? Say, can I declare unto you something worse than retribution from Allah? Whomsoever Allah is cursed and been wroth with, and he has made of them apes and swine, and who worship Taghut. That's a difficult word. It's the rebel. I don't know how that's rooted. There's one of these commentaries, actually a couple of them, but most of them don't really. Gypt is the superstition. The Gut is the producer of the falsehood. I guess that's how I'll define it. It's not just idols. They are in a worse plight, and are more erring from the level path. When they come to you, they say, we believe, but they entered in with unbelief, and when they went out therewith, and Allah knows best what they did hide. Thou wilt see many of them vying in sin and enmity, and eating unlawful things. Evil is that they have done. Their masters and their doctors prohibit them from speaking in sin and eating unlawful things. Evil is what they have performed. The Jews say, Allah's hand is fettered. Their hands are fettered, and they are cursed for what they have said. Nay, his hands are outspread. He expends how he pleases, and that which has been sent down to thee from thy Lord will surely increase many of them in their retribution and misbelief, for we have cast among them enmity and hatred till the resurrection day. Whenever they light a fire for war, Allah puts it out. They strive for corruption in the earth, but Allah loves not the corrupt. But did the people of the book believe and fear? We would cover up their offenses, and we would make them enter into gardens of pleasure. And were they steadfast in the law and the gospel, and what has been sent down to them from their Lord? And they should eat from above them and below them. Amongst them are a nation who are moderate, but many of them bad is what they do. And it's not saying all Jews, but there's certainly types. Yeah, they're the Michael and Yehuda Berg, the becoming light god. There's only one creator in the world that's sort of talking. You think if there were more creators in the world, no, so subhanAllah, and that's given way to the becoming a living god sort of movement that I'm sure was made possible by the Michael and Yehuda Berg and the Kabbalah Center. Them getting out there. O thou apostle, preach what has been revealed to thee from thy Lord, from thy Lord? I think it's thy Lord. But that's what he said. From thy Lord, if thou do it not, thou hast not preached his message, and Allah will not hold thee free from men. For Allah guides not people who misbelieve. Say, O people of the book, ye rest on naught, until ye stand fast by the law and the gospel, and what is revealed to you from your Lord. But what has been revealed to thee from thy Lord will of assuredly increase many of them in rebellion and mischief. Vex not thyself then for people who misbelieve. Verily those who believe, and those who are Jews, and the Sabaeans, and the Christians, whosoever believes in the law on the last day, and does what is right, there is no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. We took a compact of the children of Israel, and we sent to them apostles every time there came to them an apostle with what their souls loved not. A part of them they did call liars, and a part of them they slew, and they reckoned that there would be no disturbance, but they were blind and deaf. And then Allah turned again towards them, and then many amongst them were blind and deaf. But Allah saw what they did, and they misbelieve who say, Verily Allah is the Messiah, the Son of Mary. But the Messiah said, O children of Israel, worship Allah, my Lord and your Lord. Verily he who associates aught with the law hath forbidden him paradise, and his resort is the fire, and the unjust shall have none to help them. They misbelieve who say, Verily Allah is the third of three. For there is no Allah but one, and if they do not desist from what they say, there shall touch those who misbelieve amongst them grievous woe. Will they not turn again towards the law and ask pardon of him? For Allah is forgiving and merciful, and the Messiah, the Son of Mary, is only a prophet, and the prophets before him have passed away, and his mother was a confessor. They used to both eat food. See how we explain to them the signs, yet see how they turn aside. And a lot of people try to